Pay attention to this black SUV that pulled up to a house in South Carolina. A woman gets out, blonde hair. She wasn't supposed to be here tonight. She was in Charleston getting a pedicure, making plans with her sister. But her husband called, said his father was dying, said he needed her. She told her sister something felt off, but she came anyway. Look at the man on that porch, waiting, watching her arrive. She walks toward him. There's tension in her movement, rushed, almost irritated. He gestures, trying to usher her inside. She barely acknowledges it. That woman is Maggie Murdaugh, 52 years old. The man is her husband, Alex. Right now, she's just walking into her own house, oblivious to the fact that she will never leave that compound alive. Maggie and Alex Murdaugh had been married for 27 years. 2 sons, a life built on old Southern money, and a legal dynasty that spanned generations in Hampton County, South Carolina. But that morning, June 7th, something happened that would set everything in motion. Alex's law firm, PMPE'd, confronted him. Chief Financial Officer Gene Seckinger had discovered nearly $792,000 missing from the firm's accounts. She wanted answers. Alex assured them the money was there. He could get it by Friday. He wouldn't make it to Friday. That evening, Maggie arrived at Moselle, their sprawling 1,770-acre hunting estate. Despite her unease, despite texting her sister that Alex sounded fishy, she came home. Around 8 p.m., Alex, Maggie, and their youngest son Paul sat down for dinner at the main house. Country fried steak and macaroni and cheese prepared by their housekeeper, a normal family dinner, conversation, phone checks, the ordinary rhythm of a family evening. After dinner, Paul became concerned about a friend's dog staying in their kennels. The dog's tail looked injured. Cash, a chocolate lab. Paul decided to walk down to the kennels to check on him. Maggie followed her son, and behind them, both Alex followed too. Pay attention to these 2 people walking across a rural property at dusk. The young man in front is Paul Murdaugh, 22 years old. He's wearing a plaid shirt. He's heading toward those kennel structures to check on that dog. Behind him, his mother Maggie, just following her son. A mother's instinct to stay close. According to phone data, Alex is walking behind them both, though you can't see him clearly in this footage. They're walking toward those wooden buildings with the metal dog cages. The kennels. This is the last time anyone will see them walking, alive, together. In 7 minutes, both of them will be dead. But right now, it's just a walk across the family property. A son worried about a dog, a mother following. An ordinary moment. Paul reached the kennels at 8:44 p.m. He pulled out his phone and started recording video of Cash, the dog with the injured tail. This is that video, the last video Paul Murdaugh ever took.
Quit, Cash. Come on. Quit. That's okay. Come here. It's not bad. Come here, Cash. Shit. Come here. Post it. Cash.
Hey, he's got a bird in his mouth.
Hey, Bubba.
That's a guinea.
This is a chicken.
Come here, Bubba.
Come here, Cash.
Come here, Bubba.
Cash. Quit.
Listen again to that voice in the background. That's Alex. He was there, with them, at the kennels, despite later claiming he was back at the house. This video, found on Paul's phone, would become the most damning piece of evidence in the case. At 8:48 p.m., Paul's phone locks for the last time. At 8:49 p.m., Maggie's phone locks for the last time. At 8:53 p.m., Maggie's phone registers movement and orientation changes without unlocking. Possibly her falling, possibly the phone dropping as she tried to run. Between 8:49 p.m. and 9:06 p.m., somewhere in this kennel area, both Paul and Maggie Murdaugh are shot to death. Paul takes 2 shotgun blasts, first to the chest, then to his head and shoulder as he's already falling. Maggie is shot 5 times with a .300 blackout rifle. The entry wounds on her back and legs suggest she was running, trying to get away, trying to escape. By 9:06 p.m., Alex Murdaugh's vehicle leaves the Moselle property, driving at 74 miles per hour toward his mother's house. The murder weapons were never found. There was no blood on Alex's clothes when police arrived, despite the close-range violence of the shootings. In the span of 17 minutes, 2 people were executed, weapons were disposed of, and evidence was concealed. 1 hour later, Alex would return. Pay attention to this vehicle that just pulled onto the property. 1 hour after the murders, headlights cut through the night. Watch this man get out of the black Suburban. That's Alex Murdaugh. He's been gone for an hour. He drove to his mother's house in Almeda, visited her briefly, even though she has advanced dementia and wouldn't remember. Made phone calls to friends and family on the way, established his whereabouts. Now he's back at Moselle. Look at how he walks. There's no panic in his movement, no rushing. His posture is calm, composed, steady. He's walking toward those kennels, toward the structures in the darkness where his wife and son are lying dead, where the blood is still fresh on the ground. In 7 minutes, he'll call 911, but right now, watch that walk. That's not the walk of a man about to discover his family has been murdered. That's the walk of a man who already knows exactly what he's going to find. At 10:07 p.m., 7 minutes after arriving back on the property, Alex Murdaugh calls 911, hysterical, screaming, sobbing, barely coherent.
911, where's your emergency?
This is Alex Murdaugh at 4147 Moselle Road. I need the police to ambulance immediately. My wife and child got badly.
Okay, you said 4147 Moselle Road in Allison?
Sir?
You said 4147 Moselle Road in Allison?
Yes, sir. 4147 Moselle Road.
Stay on the line with me, okay? Yes, sir. Stay on the line with me, okay? Okay.
Collin County Communications.
Collison, I have an Alex Murdaugh on the line, caller from 4147 Moselle Road. He's advising that his wife and child was shot.
Okay, and sir, give me the address again.
It's 4147 Moselle Road. I've been up to it now. It's bad.
Okay. Okay, and are they breathing?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and you said it's your wife and your son?
My wife and my son.
Are they in a vehicle?
No, ma'am. They're on the ground out at my kennels.
Okay, and did you see anyone? Okay, is he breathing at all?
No.
Is she? Okay, do you see anything? Do you see anyone in the area?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
What color is your house on the outside? What color is your house on the outside?
It's white. You can't see it from the road.
Okay, is it a house or a mobile home?
It's a house.
Okay, and what is your name?
My name is Alex Murdaugh.
Okay, and did you hear anything, or did you come home and find them?
No, ma'am. I've been gone. I just came back.
Okay, and was anyone else supposed to be at your house?
No, ma'am. Please hurry.
We're getting somebody out there to you. Okay, what is her name?
Maggie and Paul.
Maggie is her name?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And please hurry.
We're getting somebody out there to you. Me asking you these questions, don't slow them down, okay? And you sure they're not breathing? Is he moving at all, your son? I know you said that she was shot, but what about your son?
Nobody. They're not. Neither one of them's moving.
What is your telephone number? And does anything look out of place?
Ma'am, not particularly, really, no, ma'am.
Okay.
Are they close, ma'am?
Yeah, they've been en route with you ever since you got on the phone with me. I have multiple people coming out there to you. Okay. I don't want you to touch them at all, okay? I don't know if you've already touched them, but I don't want you to touch them just in case they can get any kind of evidence, okay?
I'd already touched them trying to get to see if they were breathing.
Okay. Well, I just don't want you to move anything just in case they can get any kind of evidence, okay?
But investigators began noticing inconsistencies immediately. During that call, Alex claimed he had just gotten home, just discovered the bodies. But his vehicle's GPS data showed he'd been on the property for 7 minutes before making the call. The calm, composed man had transformed into someone completely different by 10:07 p.m. Deputies arrived at 10:25 p.m. Alex was covered in tears, pacing, inconsolable, but there was no blood on him, none on his clothes, none on his hands. The investigation had just begun. Over the following weeks and months, investigators built their case. The evidence mounted. Paul's video placed Alex at the kennels at 8:44 p.m., contradicting his claims that he was napping at the house. Ballistics showed 2 different weapons were used, both firearms Alex had access to. Forensic analysis found gunshot residue on Alex's shirt. The timeline was impossibly tight. Less than 17 minutes to kill 2 people, dispose of 2 weapons, clean up, and leave the property. Unless the killer didn't have to dispose of weapons or clean up. Unless the killer simply drove away and came back later to discover what he'd done. Financial records revealed Alex wasn't just missing $792,000 from his law firm. He'd been stealing from clients for years, millions of dollars. A Ponzi scheme of theft from injury settlements, many from his most vulnerable clients. The confrontation that morning at the law firm wasn't just a warning. It was the beginning of the end. Alex knew he was about to be exposed, disbarred, prosecuted. Everything he'd built would collapse, and Maggie had been asking questions about money. On January 23, 2023, Alex Murdaugh's murder trial began in Walterboro, South Carolina. The prosecution laid out their case, a desperate man cornered by his own crimes who murdered his wife and son to buy time and sympathy, to distract from the financial crimes, to play the grieving victim instead of the calculating thief. The defense argued the timeline was impossible, that Alex loved his family, that someone else must have committed these murders. But they couldn't explain Paul's video. They couldn't explain the lies about being at the kennels. They couldn't explain the 17-minute window. They couldn't explain the guns that disappeared. After 6 weeks of testimony, after 75 witnesses, after hours of evidence and cross-examination, the jury received the case. On March 2, 2023, after deliberating for less than 3 hours, the verdict came. Guilty on all counts. 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime. On March 3, 2023, he was sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms without the possibility of parole. Today, Alex Murdaugh sits in a maximum security prison in South Carolina. He continues to maintain his innocence. But those 3 moments captured on camera tell a different story. The arrival at 6:45 p.m., A wife summoned home by her husband, walking into a house she would never leave alive. The walk at 8:42 p.m. A mother following her son toward the kennels, neither knowing they had minutes left to live. The return at 10 p.m. A man walking calmly toward the scene of murders he'd committed an hour earlier, preparing to perform grief. Maggie Murdaugh was 52 years old, a mother, a wife, a daughter, a sister. She loved her family, her friends, her life in South Carolina. Paul Murdaugh was 22 years old. He loved hunting, fishing, being on the water. He was still figuring out who he was, who he wanted to be. They both died at the family property they thought was safe, killed by the person they trusted most. These were their last moments.